How is new research transforming fibromyalgia chronic fatigue? Imagine a world where understanding complex health conditions like fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue is no longer a mystery. Recent scientific breakthroughs are bringing us closer to that reality. Researchers are making strides in identifying biological markers that could revolutionize how we diagnose and treat these conditions. For example, scientists at the Jackson Laboratory and Duke University have developed an artificial intelligence tool called Biomarkers. This tool analyzes stool, blood, and routine lab tests to identify myalgic encephalomyelitis, or chronic fatigue syndrome, with about 90% accuracy. This is a huge step forward because, until now, there has been no single test to definitively diagnose these conditions. Similarly, researchers from the University of East Anglia and Oxford Biodynamics have created a blood test that examines over 200 chromosome conformations. This test can diagnose chronic fatigue syndrome with nearly 96% accuracy by looking at how different signaling pathways in the body are altered. One of the most exciting areas of research involves the gut microbiome, which is the community of bacteria living in our digestive system. Studies show that the microbiome interacts with immune responses and influences symptoms like fatigue, sleep problems, headaches, and dizziness. In fibromyalgia specifically, scientists have found that certain bacteria, such as Streptococcus salivarius, may play a role in inflammation and oxidative stress within cells. This means that targeting the microbiome could open up new treatment options that focus on restoring balance in the gut, potentially reducing symptoms. Another key discovery relates to the immune system. Researchers have found that people with chronic fatigue conditions often have an overactive immune response. For instance, certain immune cells called mate cells show increased activity, linking gut health to immune function. Additionally, scientists have identified disruptions in molecular pathways, including proteins involved in maintaining the extracellular matrix, which supports tissues, and the urea cycle, which helps detoxify ammonia. After exercise, patients tend to show increased activity in antioxidant pathways, indicating that their cells are under stress from oxidation. Interestingly, women often exhibit stronger inflammatory responses than men, which might explain some differences in symptoms. Research into metabolism and brain function also sheds light on these conditions. Studies reveal that after exertion, people with fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue have reduced conversion of tryptophan, an amino acid, into serotonin. Since serotonin influences mood, sleep, and cognition, this disruption can contribute to the cognitive fog and sleep issues many experience. These biological changes are not just psychological but are rooted in real physiological processes. Looking ahead, scientists are exploring treatments that target these newly understood pathways. For example, drugs that modulate neurotransmitters like glutamate and substance P are being studied for their potential to reduce pain and fatigue. Some medications already approved for other uses, such as milnacipran, which affects norepinephrine and serotonin, have shown promise in improving symptoms in clinical trials. Researchers are also investigating gene therapy approaches that could modify gene expression related to pain and immune regulation. The hope is that these advances will lead to personalized medicine, where treatments are tailored to each person's unique biological profile. Because these conditions involve complex and interconnected systems, identifying specific biomarkers helps determine which therapies are most likely to work for an individual. This shift from broad, often ineffective treatments to targeted interventions could significantly improve quality of life for many. Of course, while these discoveries are promising, scientists emphasize that further research and validation are necessary. Animal models cannot fully replicate the complexity of human conditions, so ongoing clinical trials are essential to confirm these findings and develop safe, effective treatments. The progress in understanding fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue reflects a move away from viewing them as purely psychological or mysterious illnesses. Instead, they are increasingly recognized as complex biological disorders with identifiable mechanisms. This scientific progress offers real hope for better diagnosis, more effective treatments, and ultimately, better outcomes for the millions of people living with these challenging conditions. Remember, always consult healthcare professionals for personalized advice, as individual experiences can vary widely.